Hello and welcome to another video about my truck. For those of you who don't like to see this, but you do, right? Well, after starting up the truck the other day for the very first time, I was so tempted to actually put this thing in drive and see what happens. The reason why I couldn't do that was because front and back there's absolutely no brakes on this truck. How do I know this? Well, I checked, but also I undid all the brake lines that were kind of questionable. And there was actually one behind the gas tank that was rotted right through. So there was absolutely no brakes, no brake fluid in there, nothing. So now it's time to rebuild the brakes so I can actually try out this truck. And I'm starting with the rear brakes for the simple reason that I was able to get all the parts fairly quickly. In the front, I'm still debating if there's something there that I could perhaps save, and or whether I have to buy all new stuff like for the rear. For the rear, I got it all, so might as well start here. Now here, let's have a look at the backing plate. So this is on the driver's side. I already brushed it just a little bit, but I'm gonna brush it some more. And I think I'm actually going to put a light coat of primer and a little bit of black paint on there just to protect it from the elements, not even to look good or anything. So my next step in this process is I'm gonna get the drill with the wire brush attachment and then put a mask on and yeah, brush it down a bit. Clean it up good. I should be wearing safety glasses. Couldn't find mine. I'm holding the brush far away from me, but it's not really the way you should be doing this. Now, I'm quite happy to announce that my parking brake cable is moving. It's moving, and I think it's fully functional. Can't hurt to work it a little bit. It goes down far because there are no brake drums. I think that means we'll have a functional parking brake, which is important which I don't know if I do, but if I have to get this inspected to keep the insurance happy or whatever, I want the parking brake to work. I don't want no second guessing, I want, like, whoever's gonna do this inspection, if it needs to happen, I want him to look at the truck and say, well, yeah, that's fine, everything's good. So this backing plate looks pretty clean to me. There's a rubber plug here. I don't know what is that supposed to access. I'll take it out. Anyways, I'm gonna spray paint this just really quickly, like not to fuss over it, but yeah, just to give it a little bit of protection from the rust. I'm gonna let this dry just for maybe 15 minutes. Well, this is rust paint, so it's supposed to go beyond the surface rust. In the meantime, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my brake line and start making that for this side. So I'm pretty excited about my brake lines. I got them from Amazon. They were inexpensive. I'll leave you a link in the description. I can't remember the price off the top of my head, and it seems like prices for this kind of stuff is always changing anyways. This is a copper nickel brake line, and the whole kit. It came with the 1/4 inch and the 3/16 all together with fittings, the whole shebang. I can do the whole truck with this package that I got, and that's pretty cool. Fittings. Seems like there are 3 different sizes here. See, and I saved the old brake line just to get an idea, you know, when I cut this, how much to cut off so I don't waste unnecessarily much. So I'm gonna just measure this roughly. It doesn't have to be precise. Well, we got there so far 26 plus this little end plus this. If I got a piece that is 30 inches long, then it should be way more than sufficient to fit there. I'm gonna go underneath the truck and double check this. See, my line is gonna originate here, then it's gonna have a bend along here, go down. This is one of the brackets or clamps or whatever you want to call it. Then there's another one here, that one there. Then obviously it'll have to go somewhat around the U-bolt and the axle here, then back in and go up there to the wheel cylinder. So let's say we got about a couple of inches here, go down a bit, and that is about 3. So let's say 3 plus 3 makes 6. Then we have only about 20 inches to go all the way to the backing plate from there. It'll be 26 inches. Maybe I'll make it 32 inches to start and then cut off the end. Yeah, I can afford to lose 2 inches of brake line due to putting a little bit extra. It's better than having to redo a whole line. 32 inches. There, that's close enough. So my little tube cutter is actually a little bit too big for this 3/16 tubing, but I managed to cut it. It's better still than with anything else that I have. I just have to make sure that I deburr this end very well. I'm happy with this, but I'm not going to flare it yet. I want to see which fitting is for my hose end. There we go. This is the one. I think both the wheel cylinder and the hose have the same thread. I hope so. 3/16. See here, this is also a 3/16. Now I'm gonna adjust the height of it like so. I hope you can see it. I don't know, I can't see what you're seeing. Now I tighten this, both ends completely. Yeah, this isn't the most fanciest flaring kit. It's Canadian Tire. Something I can afford. So put this side in there. This is the die I'm gonna use. Now I got the, whatever you call it, the squeezer thingy. I'm sure there's a better term for this. Could do this in a vise, would probably be a bit easier, but sometimes you have to do this under the car, so it's good practice just to do it like this. Gotta make sure this is square, which it is right now. Everything looks good. So I tighten this. There, that's good enough. Now I take out the die, put it aside, and I take this on its own. See, it's got a cone shape. Make sure it's centered over the hole there. And once again, I tighten it. This should make the perfect double flare. Open this up. There we go. This is better. Yeah, I think I'm happy with this. I was having a little bit of problems with this before. It was a bit of a, like, practice makes perfect kind of thing. It's important to deburr this. You can also lubricate this, which is definitely desirable when you're working with a steel line. This one is a lot more forgiving, and it's also a lot more corrosion proof. So that's why I didn't mind spending the extra money for this. Now it's time to shake the rattle can so we can put a coat on this backing plate. Don't want to leave it on the primer. I guess I could. It'd probably be sufficient, but Yeah, I'll put the black coat on there. Now that's what I call a pretty backing plate. Am I being too fussy here? You can see my line, it's pre-bent, and 32 inches wasn't too long, wasn't too short, it was perfect. So now I just got a flare at the other end, but first I want to put the wheel cylinder in its place. So the wheel cylinders I'm using, they are brand spanking new aftermarket Doorman. They're made in China. I believe China makes a lot of good products, and they have ways of making it cheaper than in North America. Your iPhone, my iPhone, everything is made in China. So are these wheel cylinders on a good old American truck. What can you do? So now the wheel cylinder is in there, and the brake line is all pre-bent, and it turns out the length was pretty much bang on with 32 inches. This is the end that was cut off from when they shipped it, and I think it's cut off nice enough for me to just do my thing there, you know, deburr it, file it a bit, and then I'll do the same thing that I did before, and my brake line is going to be in place. So I take a fitting from the collection here. I think this one will work. There's a plug here in the back of the wheel cylinder there, the red thing that you see. See? There. I just want to try to see, make sure that this fitting actually goes in there. It should. And it does. So here you have it. A wonderful brake line. I don't even know, I think it's 3/8. Yeah, if it goes in by hand, as far as I can get it, that means it's lined up good. So that's what we got. So now I'm lining it up here. See, it's in the clamp there, and it goes right up to my wheel cylinder. Needs a slight little bend there. Yeah, I'm trying to show you as much as I can, but it's hard to do this with one hand. So I'll be fiddling there with both my hands, and then I'll show you the result. It's kind of strange because this isn't metric flare, metric fittings, metric threads, but it's a 10mm wrench. Yeah, I don't even have to tighten this very much beyond what's already there because this fits so well. This is done. Same thing down here.
Done.
So before I forget it, I just wanted to let you know that I've made an effort to put some links in the description for the parts that I've been using, so you can order them on Amazon. And also, if you like a video like this, well, I got more like that coming. You know, this truck isn't done. I would like you to become my subscriber so I can talk to you more often. You've been great. Thumbs up. And I'll see you next time.